In the last year, I traveled to United States, I don't know, maybe 18, 20 times.
Wow.
All for different regions of United States. And I always find people that has been to Portugal from different social structure. And every time I come back to Portugal, I return to Portugal, the airplane is full of Americans visiting Portugal.
Yeah.
And that's incredible because not many years ago, we couldn't find any American in Portugal.
No.
Hi, I'm Mabilio. I'm 55. I'm the latest guest of Portugal, The Simple Life podcast with Dylan. I'm the owner and the founder of Nata Pura, which is a very specialized company on a very traditional Portuguese pastry called Pastel de Nata. I'm the parent of 3 kids and a French bulldog, and I'm really happy to be here with you guys and have this conversation with Dylan. Thank you.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life. It's going to be a delicious episode, and I'm really happy to be joined here by Mabilio de Albuquerque. Did I say it correctly?
It is. You almost did.
Almost. Tell me the
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Close.
That's
okay.
the Portuguese way. Then if you want to say it in English, a lot of people say Albuquerque, like New Mexico.
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. Yeah, you must when you go to the States, you probably get that a lot.
Yeah,
but,
they do.
Mabilio, thank you for being on the podcast. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. I'm just arriving from holidays, so I'm feeling fresh. And I'm really happy to be here with you.
Wonderful, thank you. Where were you? Where were you on holiday?
I spent a few days in. I had an event in Miami, so I took a few days there, and then I flew down to the south of Portugal, to Algarve. That I believe that you've been there before.
Yeah, right.
And I spent a few days there with one of my kids.
Oh, lovely. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
The picture behind you is gonna give a little bit away about what you do. But Mabilio, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 55. I was born in '69 in Porto, Portugal. I'm the parent of 3 boys, 27, 24, and 17. Also of a French bulldog. He's part of the family for 12 years now.
Has to be.
And I really love that dog. And
what's his name?
I enjoy. His name is Yuri.
Yuri? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool name.
It's Yuri. I tell you why. Because there was a period in my life that I used to travel like a week per month to Ukraine.
Okay.
This was in 2008, 2009. And so I thought that's when I had the dog, and I gave him a name that was somehow reasoning with Ukrainians. So he was Yuri, and now it's been Yuri for his life.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I was telling, so I always lived in Porto. I'm an ex-Olympic swimmer. I did Olympics in '88. I'm a big fan of not only swimming, but also motorsports, especially MotoGP. I'm a big fan of that. And I'm a businessman. I work on the food industry for about 10 years or 12 years now. Was something really new for me when I started. I didn't know anything about food or I didn't know anyone in the industry, but I just thought that we had a beautiful, wonderful, great pastry in Portugal that was worth being known all over the world. And I just started working on that. And that's what I've been doing for the last 12 years.
From your traveling back and forth and dealing with a lot of Americans, you were just on holiday there and you've been there many times. What do you think is bringing people here? What do you think Portugal is offering to Americans that is so appealing?
I think there is a big cultural difference between the United States and Portugal, and that's appealing for Americans. I think that also the way that the Portuguese welcome people from abroad, it's also very, very welcoming, very warm. We have very good food. I have to say that the Portuguese cuisine is really, really good.
Yeah.
Very good fish. It's a secure country. It has been a very secure country for the last years. And I think that the Americans really enjoy to find different ambience, different people, different food, different wines. And for them, all of this is very appealing. In the last year, I traveled to United States, I don't know, maybe 18, 20 times.
Wow.
All for different regions of United States. And I always find people that has been to Portugal from different social structure. And every time I come back to Portugal, I return to Portugal, the airplane is full of Americans visiting Portugal.
Yeah.
And that's incredible because not many years ago, we couldn't find any American in Portugal.
No, with traveling, with experiencing these different places and cultures, what are the things that you learn to appreciate about Portugal?
Every time I go out and I travel, I have to say I travel a lot from Asia, Japan, South Korea to United States to the Middle East, Dubai.
Yeah.
So I know all of these places. I love to travel, but I always love to come back home. I love it not only because of getting back to family, but also because I feel very safe here. I feel safe in Portugal. I'm not saying I'm not feeling safe when I'm traveling, because most of the places that I've visited, I've always felt safe. But Portugal is, to me, something different, a different appeal here. I don't know. I was born here. My family is here. My house is here. I have everything here. I love the food. I love the wines. We have fantastic products. Fantastic products. It's not only the pastel de nata, but we have fantastic cheese, fantastic olive
Our
oil.
cheese is very underrated.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have some difficulty in competing with international markets with these
Yeah.
products.
Yeah,
You know,
we can't produce the same amount of
no,
quantity,
it's no,
so
no,
exporting is a challenge.
it's impossible to do that. Also, I think sometimes there's a pricing issue.
Yeah.
Other times,
Yeah, and I mean, I think Mabilio, you mentioned that Portugal could be the California of Europe, and it's funny because we're not saying Portugal could be the USA of Europe. We're saying Portugal could be the
yeah,
California, which is a
uh-huh,
state, and I think we're
uh-huh.
still not even the size of the state of California.
No,
Portugal, I saw a map the other day where Portugal fits into a little tiny dot
yeah,
on the whole of America. We have this tiny
yeah,
little country. We just don't have the production.
yes, that's true.
Talking of the pastries, let's talk about sweet things. What are the actual ones that you've managed to be able to get to a point where you can export them? Because I'm sure
Uh,
there's also pastries that will be almost impossible because of their
They are.
complexity.
They are absolutely impossible. The story with the pastries, as you probably know, is that we have something that we call the conventual sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
Yes,
happened
the
was
sweets
that
that
in
the cakes and sweets that were produced by the monks in the convents.
the monks and the
Yeah.
nuns, yeah.
Yeah.
In the 15th century, Portuguese was a large producer of eggs, and a lot of the egg yolks were or thrown away or given to the animals to feed the animals. On the 16th century, the nuns and the monks on the monasteries and the convents, they started using those egg yolks to create pastries, because their idea was to create pastries, sell these pastries, and get money for the monasteries. The story behind the pastel de nata is that the monks used to dye their habits with the egg whites, and with the egg yolks remaining, they started creating a pastry, which is the pastel de nata. Okay, that's the story behind the product.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life home buyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Actually, CNN did an article about 2 years ago, I think, about the 50 best foods in the world, and pastel de nata was ranked 16th. But in fact, we have excellent sweets in Portugal. I think some of the best in the world, definitely.
Which one, just in a dream world, would you love to export? Like, which is your favorite that you like? Man, if I could find a way.
I'd love. There's one that we tried to understand if it was possible to do it or not. It was the I don't know how to translate that to English. The ovos moles. You know how
Ovos,
to?
yeah.
Yeah,
Soft eggs,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, the soft eggs.
yeah.
It's something that I like to do, and there are a couple of more pastries that we'd love to try to find a way of exporting. But nowadays we get to the conclusion that everything is possible. Everything is possible. You just need to have the focus and try to find a way to make things happen. We have been working this product in particular for the last 10 years, and we are very focused on this. And we don't want to lose focus on this because we really understand, as I told you, we travel all around the world, all the food shows everywhere from Europe, Asia, United States, you name it. And everybody goes crazy with the product. When they taste it, it's really amazing to see the expression of people that have never tried a pastel de nata and try it for the first time. And we have some pictures and images of that because it's amazing. The comments and how people get crazy about it. So we think that there's a large potential here, and we are working this very carefully and very focused on this. But that doesn't mean that at some point we can start doing something else, because we have other pastries in Portugal that we can work that out.
Let's do a top 5 for people listening. They're going to come to Portugal. They've tried the pastel nata. It's there, it's the king. We know this. But another top 5, your top 5 pastries or sweets that you would recommend people when you come to Portugal. You got to try this.
I'm a big fan of a sweet from Algarve called Dom Rodrigo.
Okay.
Made with
Dom
almonds.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Okay.
Yes, it's made with almonds.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff made with almonds down there.
Yes, yeah. If you like almonds, it's something really, really, really good. Dom Rodrigo.
Dom. Okay, like Dom.
Yeah.
Dom Rodrigo. Okay.
Yes.
And is that a particular region that comes from, or
Algarve?
But all over the Algarve?
All over the Algarve, you can find it.
They won't find it in Vilamora.
You find it in Vilamora, yeah.
Yeah,
you find it there. Yeah.
Okay. Dom Rodrigo. Okay.
Dom Rodrigo. If you ask for it, I'm sure that you'll find it there. I know this because I was in Vilamora the last week, and I had it there.
And you had some. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. There's another one that is really, really interesting, which I cannot translate. Maybe you can help me. It's trouxa de ovos. You know what it is?
Yeah, it's also with eggs. I don't think there's a direct translation for it. It's like an egg mix. Yeah. It's a difficult one.
It's hard to translate. I don't know how to translate.
Yeah.
Something with fresh eggs also.
And a lot of the things are egg based.
And a lot. Yeah. That's one thing about the conventional pastries. A lot of them are egg based.
Which is also a challenge to reproduce because even egg eventually goes off.
Yeah. It's very hard to reproduce. There's another one that I'm sure that you've seen on the beach, which is the bola de Berlim.
Yes.
Have you ever tried that?
All the time. Usually every summer.
Yeah.
Usually every summer. It's the cake for the summer.
And there's also another one that I really enjoy, which is pastel de Portugal. You know that one?
Portugal?
Yes. It's
a
very, very thin pastries enrolled like a pillow.
Okay.
With eggs inside.
Okay.
But it's really, really crispy, and it's amazing. You have to try that.
Portugal. Okay.
Portugal.
I probably have tried it and didn't know that that's what it was called. But yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah. But we have, as you know, Dylan, we have, I don't know, I told you here about 5, but we have like, I don't know how many, 50, 70, I don't know.
Yeah.
Even myself don't know them all. I mean, if any of our listeners go to Google it, they look for Portuguese conventual sweets, they can find a list of I don't know how many sweets.
I'm not far from Alcobaça, and Alcobaça's got a history with all the conventional sweets.
Yes,
and I mean, it's incredible. And one thing that my wife likes to do whenever because we like to every couple of weekends we like to go somewhere like on a mini road trip for a Sunday. Go somewhere that's maybe an hour or 2 hours away, have lunch there, and then come back and she always Googles when we're in that particular town. She always asks, what's the traditional sweet or the traditional pastry? And we always end up having something from some tiny random little village that you didn't know. She's Portuguese and she doesn't know that some of these things exist. So it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But definitely the ex libris, the one that everybody loves, is the pastel de nata. That is
the king. It's the king.
Yeah, it's the king.
That's why.
Absolutely.
So all hail the king. Mabilio, what's one thing that you would like people to remember and take away from our conversation?
I like people to remember that they are always welcome in Portugal. The Portuguese are very welcoming for foreigners. We love to have people from abroad in our country. We like them visiting our special places. We have very special places in Portugal. Very interesting monuments. They have to try our food. They have to try our fish because our fish is really, really good.
Yeah.
We have perfect wine. We are a secure country. They have pastel de nata in every corner. They will not miss it, and it's impossible to miss it here in Portugal. And that we are, as I said at the beginning, always open to receive them with a nice welcome and to make them have the best time of their lives in Portugal. So all of them are welcome, and we love to have them here.
Mabilio, a question that we ask all of our guests: Portugal, the simple life, why?
I think that a lot of the things that we have spoken on this conversation are an answer to that question. But it's in fact a simple life. It's not a life as complicated as the big cities that you find in other countries. Even Lisbon is not, it's a big city, but it's not one of the hugest cities of Europe or in the world. It's simple to live here. I mean, people are nice. You can go anywhere safely. You have good restaurants, good concepts, nice parties, nice people. You wake up in the morning, you go to your work. I mean, that's my routine every day. I wake up, I go to the gym, I get back to the office. I stay in the office. It's not that hard for me to get back home at lunchtime or at dinner time because I live close. Traffic it's fair. It's not really crazy. And then you have also, I mean, you have the sea, so you can go to the beach anytime. You can go to the inside to the interior of Portugal, to the countryside, and find a completely different setup there, and you can live a completely different day-to-day life here. So it's really simple, really simple, nice, very nice.
I like it. Thank you for being on the podcast. I've enjoyed this conversation.
You're welcome, Dylan. It was really great to be with you, to meet you, and I'll be always available for any conversation, any topic that you have. Just let me know. I'll be happy to it. Okay.
Thank you, Mabilio, and I'm going to let you call it.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.